President Trump's plan to overhaul federal agencies now facing legal roadblocks.
Attorneys general in several states, including here in the tri-state area, challenging the White House's Department of Government Efficiency over its access to sensitive systems and data. Christina Fan is here live in studio to explain exactly what's happening now. Christina?
Well, Chris and Mary, since taking office, President Trump has followed through on his pledge to shrink the size of the U.S. government, but many of his plans are now facing legal challenges, including giving the world's richest man access to vast networks of sensitive information. New York Attorney General Letitia James, along with AGs from 12 other states, including New Jersey and Connecticut, plan to sue the Trump administration over the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, accusing Elon Musk's team at DOGE of engaging in unauthorized access to sensitive information that includes Americans' data on federal computer systems at the Treasury Department.
He's not been elected to any office. He's not been subjected to any scrutiny or conflicts of interest, but yet he has access to all of this information. So he is in violation of the law.
Members of Musk's DOGE team are not government employees, yet have access to a Treasury system that handles trillions of dollars in grants, Social Security, and other payments to millions of Americans. In a letter to Congress this week, the Treasury Department said DOGE only has read-only access and cannot affect expenditures.
We want them to return the data that they have access to. It's important that we defend the privacy rights and the data of all Americans.
Musk also helped orchestrate the president's plan to offer incentives to federal workers to voluntarily resign as part of the administration's effort to slash the size of the federal government. On Thursday, a judge ruled to temporarily block the plan ahead of a midnight deadline. The White House says more than 40,000 employees have accepted the buyout offer in exchange for pay until the end of September.
And again, we expect it to increase. It's going to save the American people tens of millions of dollars, and we encourage federal workers in this city to accept the very generous offer. If they don't want to show up to the office, if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome to take this buyout, and we'll find highly competent individuals who want to fill these roles.
Before the pause, federal workers had until last night to decide if they wanted to take the offer. The federal judge will be hearing arguments from both sides at a court hearing scheduled for Monday and directed the Trump administration to extend the deadline until then. Chris.
Christina, thank you. Also today, President Trump expected to speak with Panamanian President Jose Raul Mulino. Yesterday, Mulino denied a State Department's claim on X, saying U.S. government vessels can now cross the Panama Canal for fees. Mulino also said he had told U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth he could neither set the fees or exempt anyone from them. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who met with Mulino earlier in the week, said he had no confusion about the discussions.
6:05, and attorneys general from Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Connecticut will update the public today on their challenging to the president's executive order to end birthright citizenship. President Trump signed the executive order on his first day in office. On Wednesday, a federal judge in Maryland issued a nationwide preliminary injunction on Trump's executive order.